Hello, hello everyone. I'm back here for week 3 of the STDL. Let's just register our team. We're taking on the Atlantic Armarouges. And let's see if we can pick up a win. Inshallah we can. Let's do it. Let me pull up my team builder. Still searching. Well, that's great. Hopefully this time we can actually find our opponent. Tomas 2. This is going to be a very interesting match. There's a lot of big threats like Shifu, Heatran, Primarina. And here we go. Now we finally found him. Let's see what he brings, shall we? There he is. So, he brings the Primarina, the Shifu, the Articuno, the Quillfish, the Cyclizar, mostly what I expected, and the Cleaver. I think he's exactly what I expected, to be honest. So what do we want to lead here? So Jolteon was the planned lead. It does well in pretty much everything. Great Task is not bad as well. I like just leading Jolteon. We outpace everything except for priority. The only priority that can come is the Sucker Punch from Shifu, the Aqua Jet from Primarina, Aqua Jet from Quillfish, and Quick Attack from Cyclizar. So with our Scarf, we basically outspeed everything else. Let's do this. Let me pull up Jolteon in the calc. Let me double check I'm recording. I am. Let's see what the lead is from our opponent here. It's the Quillfish. Okay. So he might want to be setting up hazards. It is Intimidate. Good to know. So no Poison Point. Quillfish, if he's physically defensive. Oh, that's the wrong Quillfish. We're just going to pull up Spadef. This thing takes like 30% from a Thunderbolt if he's Spadef. We can just Volt Switch and we should see how much this does. We're just going to Volt Switch out. That does a good chunk. That does not look Spadef. That looks more physically defensive. That was about 40%. Yeah, that looks about physically, like about max HP with a Violite. We should always be going into Great Tusk here on this. And he goes straight for those toxic spikes like I expected. So Great Tusk, we obliterate him with a Headlong Rush if he's just max HP. We can just rapid spin these away. So we're just going to click that. We do not want to be dealing with hazards. He does make the swap into what? Into the Articuno. So this is his answer. And we're going to do a good chunk with a crit. I apologize to my opponent for the early crit. The T-Spikes are gone. I do want to calc that damage. That was like about... That looks to be about 35% on a crit. That looks about to be no investment. So this thing is offensive. And we should always just be going right into Latios on this. We're very specially defensive on this. He could reveal his Terror here. This is his only Terror Captain. This can go Steel, Psychic, or Fighting. He just goes straight for the Freezing Glare. We're going to calc this damage. Latios, he does... Dude, that wasn't a crit. He does... Puts us down to 230. 50. That's a lot of damage. Is that a... Freezing Glare there. He did one... Ooh. He did 87 damage. That looks... Is that modest damage? That looks like choice specs to me. Yeah, that kind of looks like... That looks like minimum damage from choice specs is some sort of boosting item. We're just going to Ice Beam here on it. He's going to withdraw. Into what here? Into the Urshifu. Ooh. We're going to see how much this does to Urshifu here. Okay, we do a good chunk to it. Oh, we freeze! Oh no, I'm so sorry to my opponent. That's such a bad freeze for him. Never want to get hacks like that. If he's offensive, Ice Beam should be doing about that much, so he looks offensive. I just want to look. What's his swap into an Aura Sphere at this point? There's not much. I'm just going to... Oof, do we risk it? Are we faster than this? We're not faster if he's offensive. We're just going to make the double into Sylveon here. Once again, apologies to my opponent for the freeze. That could be really massive because Urshifu is such a big threat. He is frozen solid, unfortunately. We don't see any item from this. I kind of just want to click Baton Pass. Are we chipped on much? We took a little bit of chip on Jet Ray. I kind of want to... He might just sack this. What's his swap in? There's not much that wants to take this, so I'm just going to click Hyper Voice here. He is going to withdraw the Urshifu. Into Cleavor. And we do massive crit! Oh my god, I'm so sorry to my opponent right now. This is not how I want to play this game. Yeah, that looks like just... That looks around no investment. He could go for the Stone Axe here. This could be Scarfed. That's one thing to take advantage of. We could just go Humongousaur here. I kind of just want to scout what he wants to do here with a Protect. Is there any, like, chance he, like, Swords Dances in front of me? I'm just going to play it safe and go into Humongousaur here. He shouldn't really kill me with anything, but we're just going to play it safe. Stone Axe does about 10% to me here. But we are chipping things down. There is the Stone Axe, and he does... Oh! Rocks don't go up. Is he Sheer Force? Wait, what? He's Sheer Force Cleavor, so there's no rocks. Okay, so he might be like Life Orb then? Unless I'm dumb. Are rocks not up? No, there are no rocks, so he's Sheer Force. Okay, good to know. He's probably Life Orb, if I had to guess with that. He does show Stone Axe. I don't know if that's a... We should just click Rapid Spin. It should always kill. He stone axes again? Okay. We're just gonna pick up that KO and get a speed boost. That damage looked about scarf damage, so Cleavor's gone. No rocks is crazy, and we have a speed boost here. So I'm not sure what wants to come in. We do outspeed Cycler's Art. He comes into Articuno again. He could click Freezing Glare here. Maybe we click a button. Do we just click Headlong, predicting the Terror? Surely he knows we have... How much are we doing with an Ice Spinner to this? Oh, we know he's offensive. He's probably Scarf, based on the way he's coming in. Although we kind of saw that he's boosting items. So I think he's probably Specs. We would probably kill from this range. He's probably clicking... Is he clicking the move? I'm going to go into Incineroar here. Predicting him to swap it up. And we're just going to figure out right now, here and now, what he is. If he's Terra Fighting, he's Terra Fighting. We do not... He just clicks Freezing Glare, and if he is boosting item, that means he is swapping here. Urshifu is... I kind of want to go for the knockoff here, just because... His best swap-in is probably either Quillfish or Primarina. I'm just going to click knockoff here. He does withdraw, so he probably is Specs here. And it's Urshifu. Yeah, that's a solid play, just sacking it off at this point. We do get to see what item this is. It was Choice Scarf. Okay, that's really big. We probably would kill with a Flare Blitz, but I just want to go Sylveon here. He is going to remain frozen, which is really unfortunate for him. And we're just going to Hyper Voice here. This is just a really bad game so far. This is not the way I want to win this game so far. I mean, my opponent still has that Primarina in the back, which is so deadly for my team. So, yeah, he does withdraw, and he's going to take a Hyper Voice on something here. It is Quillfish. Okay, this is still going to take a big chunk, especially with the chip it took earlier. He is Intimidate. Hyper Voice does so much. Does about 50 there. So that is not defensive. It is probably physically defensive then. He could just go... We're just going to go Humongousaur here. He doesn't have... He still has the Articuno around, which is the one thing that scares me out of the Articuno swap. But it doesn't look like he has much for the Incineroar. We could aggressively go into Chrome Stone here. Or even Jolteon. I'm just going to go Humongousaur here. I don't see a reason not to. This is the thing that came for this. If he sets up T-Spikes again, that's fine by me. We just get a Rapid Spin in front of this. He does click Toxic. Okay, that's good to know that he has Toxic. We could have gone Glim, but that's fine. I mean, Urshifu's chipped. Everything is really chipped right now. So I'm just going to Rapid Spin here. This should KO this. We're not... He does withdraw. That's fine by me. Probably wants to save it for another Intimidate. He goes into Prim. I 1 damage on this thing, so this is good. And we do about 20% to Primarina there. He reveals Leftovers. Okay, that is beautiful. That looks about... Yeah. Headlong should kill him if he's not... Headlong does about 84% here. I think I'm just going to click Headlong. At this point in the game, I think it's better to click Headlong here. Just to get the big damage on this thing. Especially now that we've seen Leftovers, this thing is much more manageable. We are going to get a big Headlong. And we just barely miss out on the KO. That's fine. What does he click? Hyper Voice comes out. That's fine by me. And we're just going to go Jolty on Hair. And click Volt Switch, I think. So we do lose Accelerate there. So let me just quickly note down all the kills we've had so far. And Primarina kills Great Task. That is Water type Hyper Voice from what I can tell. And we're just going to Volt Switch here. We don't have to reveal our Terra. We're just going to Volt Switch and kill this. Beautiful. Okay, based on what he has left. So he's lost Cleavor and Prim, which is really nice. Urshifu is still frozen, so I doubt he wants to come into that. Montecuno is about 60. Quillfish is chipped. Cyclizar. I do kind of just want to go Chroma Stone here. It's probably solid. The other option is going Lati. That might bait in Urshifu. I'm just going to go Chroma Stone here. We've got the Scarf, so we should outspeed everything that isn't Scarf. We've already seen the Scarf from Cleavor, so he might not be Scarfed on anything else. Let's see what he wants to go into here. This is a really tough position for him. Obviously, he wants to get that T-Spike up with Quillfish, but he will just die to a hit from us. If we click Power Gem, that's pretty free right now, especially since Urshifu is frozen. We can just go Sylveon. But he's taking an awful long time on this decision. Without Urshifu being a reliable swap in, he is in a really tough spot. Articuno, if that comes in, is probably fighting or steal, so we'll just double. Cyclizar is the swap in. Does this thing killed me? It could be Scarf. That's the only way it outpaces us. If this is like AV, Draco Media does nothing. If he's like max special attack, Modest. Draco does 63. What if he has like Mud Shot? Mud Shot doesn't even kill us, so we're pretty free to click Dazzling here. We're just gonna click the button and get some big damage off. Let's see how much this does. It does a big chunk to him. He clicks Ice Spinner. He probably predicts the swap there. And up goes T-Spikes. So yeah, that looks offensive. He has lefties on this. We revealed the Scarf there. We're just going to click it again. What does his swap into it? He doesn't really have one, so we're just going to click it again. And T-Spikes being up is really... he could obviously go Quillfish here. He does withdraw. Does he sack off the Urshifu? Quillfish comes in to absorb the T-Spike, but will die to the Dazzling Gleam afterwards. Doesn't intimidate me, doesn't do anything. Bang, big kill. Kills Quillfish with Dazzling Gleam. And is the Articuno. Now we very much still can use this thing. So we're just going to go... He might expect the Incineroar, so we're going to go Latios. Switch it up a bit. We do 44.9. Oh, let me pull up Articuno. This kind of tells me he might be Steel or Psychic. I don't think he'd be... or he's at least not clicking his Terror Fighting button this turn. We know this thing is offensive, probably Specs. Let's see what he's clicking here. It is the Freezing Glare again. So we think that he specs into this. He does absolutely nothing there. He doesn't get the freeze. He kind of needed that at this point in the game. What does he go into here? There's not much. I just click Ice Beam here. We should be doing a massive chunk. He just Freezing Glares again. Doesn't Terror. Does he get the freeze? No freeze. Does Ice Beam kill? Ice Beam does kill there. With the crit, I don't know if that matters, but this game has been so hacksy on my side. Oh my god, that crit might have mattered. Yeah, it definitely matters there. We don't kill that if he doesn't click that. Urshifu comes in, and we can just go Sylveon here to kind of close out the game at this point, especially since we've seen that it's physical Cyclizar, and we're physically defensive Sylveon. He could be Iron Head, but that's worst case scenario. Does he stay frozen? He stays frozen. This game is it's such a hacksy game. It's incredible. We just click Hyper Voice. I mean, we have no reason not to. He stays frozen once again. And Sylveon's going to get that kill. Ice Beam and... yeah. I don't think there's any way this kills me. No. This kills Urshifu with Hyper Voice. I'm gonna calc this just in case, but... like, if he's offensive Cyclizar... like, if he's banded... with the Adamant... let me pull up. Where's Choice Band when I need it? Iron Head... we're just gonna click Hyper Voice. It doesn't look like it can kill. There is the Ice Spinner. And I think that means that Gwen should pick up the final kill. And GG to my opponent. He did not deserve such a... that was completely undeserved on my end. The freeze, along with the crits that probably did matter, at least one of them. Yeah, that is absolutely massive. Yeah, what a game. It's such a... it's, you know, it's tough to win in such a way. But I feel like we most probably would have won anyway, but it's so tough to tell with how much hacks there was. Yeah, but anyway, thanks so much for my opponent for putting up with me, frankly. It's very tough to lose in that manner. And... on the bright side, we do pick up a big 5-0 win. That's going to put us in a good position going into week 4. Yeah. So sorry to my opponent. But that sometimes these things happen in Pokemon. You just got to live with it, unfortunately. We had really bad luck last week not to pick up the win. But yeah, at the very least, we take the win. I wish my opponent best of luck in the next week. Let's hope the axe doesn't come back to bite. And hopefully we'll have a much cleaner battle next week. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Bye-bye.